Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the opening part to What If Naruto Was a Vampire. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe, it's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
First, I'll explain the type of vampire that Naruto will become and the abilities they possess. So, Naruto will become an undead vampire, and this will be done by ingesting the blood of a vampire before dying and dying with that blood in his system. Vampires will have supernatural physical abilities and cause a moderate increase in chakra reserves and stamina. They have heightened emotions, and when they shift they grow fangs and their sclera turns black. Also, there is the ability to compel people, but strong enough people can resist the compulsion or at least acknowledge they're being compelled. With this, the main feature of their species of course is their insatiable thirst for human blood. Naruto as a child in the academy walks through one of the forests after he's been bullied. He doesn't want to expose himself to the people in the village after already being beat down so badly. He is in a low state of mind and just desires some alone time. He stops in place after hearing movements from around him. "Come out then, if you want to attack me again I won't go down without a fight," Naruto says, with tears welling up in his eyes. However, a man walks out in front of him with dark red spiky hair that is cut rather short. He is around 6'2" and very muscular with piercing red eyes. "Don't move, don't be scared," he says, making his eyes darken to a midnight black. His red eyes start glowing, then he reveals his fangs to bite into his own forearm. Naruto just stands there and is confused, not scared. The man forces Naruto to drink his blood, and then the demonic chakra envelops his seal on his stomach. What's he doing? Naruto wonders in sheer confusion as his fear has been wiped away. The man snaps Naruto's neck and he drops dead, which confuses Kurama, who is inside him and still alive and well. "What is this demonic chakra in my cage? How am I still alive?" Kurama wonders, before seeing Naruto just wake up out of nowhere. "What's happening?" Naruto thinks as he wakes up. "Forget our encounter, Naruto, I shall make the Kyuubi forget me too," he says, performing a weird seal-like jutsu on the seal on his belly. Naruto feels lightheaded and weak, and he starts to notice that his senses have been heightened. He can see way further than usual, and he can hear the slightest movement of the leaves rustling in the wind. He continues to walk home, and he does so in a slight limp as he feels his body is just totally off and hurting. However, things change once he sees two Chunin in their uniform walking past him. He hears their hearts and almost can't even resist as he smells their blood coursing through their veins. His body almost totally loses control and his eyes darken to black with black veins protruding from his eyes. He leaps at one ninja who reveals a kunai once he hears someone. He starts shouting after Naruto drinks and slurps on his blood, and he literally can't even stop himself. The Chunin can't seem to shake him off, and the other one tries to subdue him by using the bloody flicker technique to try and get him out of the way. However, as he is grabbed by the Chunin, he somehow wrestles with him as if they're equals. "How is this kid so strong? He's matching my strength," he thinks in awe, getting hurled into a tree with ferocity. He then slurps on this man's blood until he is full and cowers away once he realizes what he's done. "No, I couldn't have done this. Why? Why did the blood taste so good?" Naruto asks himself, licking the blood off his fingers and mouth. He can't even imagine what will happen to him, and he actually has no clue how he has become this thing. "Please just forget everything," Naruto shouts once he realizes the trouble he's in. As he says this, the Chunin stops grunting and gets up slowly, walking away from the academy student without a clue about what just happened. Naruto feels saved by that, and it confuses him since he felt movements of his chakra as he did this. So compulsion in Naruto terms is basically just a very strong genjutsu. It allows much weaker people to warp other people's minds without the need of any hand signs or specific genjutsu. It is a very natural technique for vampires that cannot be replicated by humans, even with the use of the Sharingan. After this, he feels his emotions being significantly heightened, and his sense of loneliness is stronger too. However, his drive to become Hokage is also intensified, and so he feels even more motivated to keep on going. Naruto now thinks that he should get some blood to survive, and so he has made up a quick plan to try and keep drinking it. However, he notices that as he continues drinking, he feels a sense of insanity and almost detachment from humanity. Anyway, he knows that he requires it because after the incident, he tried to stop drinking blood and felt himself getting weaker and more on edge. Most of the time now, he meditates to try and control his emotions. When he gets attacked by bullies, he is forced to use compulsion to stop them from getting seriously hurt. From this point on, Naruto starts training his new body and meditating to improve the usage of his chakra, but to also make himself less likely to be found out by any ninja. He even tries to learn ninjutsu, although it's awfully hard for him to control and manage his large volume of chakra. He is able to learn the simple clone and shadow clone techniques, which both cause very little and unobservable decreases to his stamina. When he bites people, he is smart enough to realize that he can't just make them forget their encounter, and he also decides to make cover stories for the wounds they receive. This keeps him going for years and years, and his new vamp body means that he is able to gain muscle mass far faster. By the time he is finishing in the academy, he has a much better physique and also better taijutsu, ninjutsu and genjutsu. Due to this, he is able to pass the academy exam and he is delighted by such. He makes an amazing shadow clone and Iruka is blown away by his progress. He can't show off his true genjutsu powers, so he gets basically below average, but his taijutsu is enough to get him through. After a delightful meal at Ichiraku Ramen, he strolls through the streets of Konoha, calming his mind from all the blood bags walking by him. Every now and again he feels his eyes darken, but he covers his face and he has made sure to master transformation jutsu lest it reveal his demonic visage. In the distance he hears a weird sound from the forest near him and he decides to head in that direction to see what's going on. Once he hears the sounds getting louder, he makes out Iruka's voice and leaps onto a building with a single jump, then dives down into the forest. He jumps down from a fairly high distance and hurts himself, but before Kurama can even heal him, the bruise he has obtained vanishes into nothing. Whoa, it's just like my knuckles when I punch bark. I've got to go, Naruto shouts, zooming into the distance. He runs extremely fast for someone who has just graduated from the academy, then jumps up as fast as he can once he sees Mizuki attempting to attack Iruka. He lands on the branch of a tree, then jumps off it to throw a straight right punch in Mizuki's face. He can barely see Naruto once he zooms toward him and he is launched off the branch that he has balanced himself on to slam into the floor. Naruto snarls down at him from above, showing off his muscular physique as he does so. Even under his usual outfit, his musculature is quite visible. Iruka sees his devilish face and is very confused. He has black eyes and glowing red eyes with veins all over his face. He dives down from the branch and lands ahead of Mizuki, then darts forward with immense speed. Mizuki stumbles back from him and holds his bruised face, but there is nothing that he can do and he receives 2 hard-hitting strikes to his head. Mizuki just drops dead to the ground, dazed. Naruto takes the scroll that was in one of his hands, then runs to Iruka. I'm sorry, but I can't have you remembering what just happened. You both had a fight after Mizuki took the scroll and he was acting slightly weird beforehand. You won, Naruto says, before using his vamp speed to disappear into the distance. With a shinobi body and as a vampire, his vamp speed is far faster, so he actually goes unannounced by Iruka. With this scroll, he sees the multi-shadow clone jutsu and wants to learn that. He has noticed that when he does any form of training, his muscles give in far before his stamina gives it. So this means that even after seeing the highlighted dangers of this jutsu in the scroll, he still believes that he can perform it, and he can. He still ends up in Team 7 and just before he meets them, he makes sure to drink a lot of blood before he goes. He stores up blood from people that he finds now, but he makes sure to get rid of it before he gets routine checkups from Ninja. People are still unaware of his new power and he wants to keep it that way, at least for now. He meets up with Team 7 and Kakashi is taken aback by the physique that he possesses. He is a little taller than in the canon timeline and is much bigger with far more muscle mass. He looks bigger than almost all shinobi. I wonder how he's able to keep up such a physique, Kakashi wonders, looking at his physique. The 4 all converse with each other and Kakashi explains to them the bell test that they will perform the day after. Naruto makes sure to make himself ready for that event and he certainly is once the next day comes around. He equips himself with ninja weaponry and drinks quite a lot of blood to make sure he is healthy and not on edge for the test. Luckily for him, this means he is less hungry for actual food and so the reward of the bell test won't affect him as much. The bell test begins and Naruto takes his chance to begin the assault on his own. He creates 5 shadow clones and comes at him from all around him, using his vamp speed to try and subdue him. Kakashi dodges punches from the first 2 clones but is forced to clash with the 3rd clone. The collision feels like he's hitting a literal brick wall and Naruto swings his kunai with astonishing speed. It whips around and gives off a whistle as it cuts through the air, but Kakashi is just about able to evade each swing. However, Naruto's shadow clones start to do the same thing and that's when it starts getting hard for him to handle the attacks. After dodging one swing, his arms raised due to the movement that he makes, then one of Naruto's clones kicks him ferociously. Another uses its tough fist to throw 2 punches to his stomach then to try and reach for the bell. However, Kakashi uses his substitution jutsu and vanishes from sight. What a strong genin. He punches harder than most Chunin and maybe even some new Chunin in bad taijutsu. He reminds me of my guy, Kakashi says humorously, hiding in the forest beside him. However, Naruto smells his scent and can even see him deep in the forest with his eagle-like vision. Using his newfound speed, he can cover the distance between them with ease and he forces Kakashi to use all his force to dodge an incoming punch. Naruto reveals 3 shuriken and places them in between his fingers. Just like in training, use your power, Naruto says as his eyes darken. Fangs grow in his mouth and he feels his body getting invigorated and he hurls the 3 shuriken forward with this new force. They stab into Kakashi in several different places after they soar through the air like bullets. Such throwing speed, that's got to be on the level of a jonin, Kakashi says, dodging a swing for the bell and for his head. As he continues to step back, Sasuke capitalizes on this and uses his fireball jutsu as he is cornered. The only place for him to go is up and so this is what he does. He leaps over the fireball but so does Naruto and since both of them are airborne there is little that he can do to evade. As Naruto jumps up, he uses transformation jutsu to hide the darkness across his face before Kakashi can get a closer look at it. He lands a straight punch just like the punch he landed on Mizuki, and once Kakashi starts to descend, Naruto swabs the bell and passes the test. This leaves just Sasuke, who was able to eventually get a bell for himself after Naruto passes. Sakura tries herself in this time, but she is unsuccessful since Sasuke is able to deal far more damage and fight more tactically. Sakura is the only one without food and Sasuke is hungry, so he chows down on his meal. However, Naruto feels sorry for Sakura and he doesn't feel like eating and so gives her a large portion of his own meal. "Congratulations, you all passed the test," Kakashi says. "I passed? That's great. How can I be a great ninja without revealing my abilities though? How do I become a Hokage as this blood-sucking demon?" Naruto thinks this as he feels the dark veins under his transformed face. So that will conclude the opening part to What If Naruto Was a Vampire. Please tell me something you liked about this part or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.